Pack radio show. You know, during the break, we were mentioning one thing. There's an individual sitting up there in Kingman right now who's been listening to this show, I think, for at least the past 45 minutes. And the one thing we haven't done is say his name the whole time or the team.
You think we should?
I don't know. What do you think, so?
I don't.
We've got
I
one
don't
teasing.
I don't know.
Or maybe just tease him right there.
Yeah, we're just teasing.
But, Doug, we want to give a big shout-out to you, buddy. You sent us down one of your best right here. That is Doug Erdy with the Doug Erdy Group. And that's where you're from, right?
That is correct. Hello, Doug.
It's always important to give those good shout-outs. You know, great individual. You guys have a great, big, growing team up there in the Kingwood area.
We do. When we opened the brokerage back in October, we started with, I think, 4 agents, and now we are up to 17. So it has been growing. It's been very successful for us. We just opened an office in the Woodlands as well, and we are in the process of scouting locations in the Austin area as well as in Midtown.
Wow.
We were like, Doug, we like having you on the show and everything, but no offense, can you send someone hotter than you?
I have more hair than he does, yes.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, the other thing is Nicole got me involved with some CrossFit training up in the Kingwood area that absolutely kicked my butt. I think...
Can you say butt on Christian radio?
You can say butt, yes.
Okay.
Kicked your gluteus maximus.
My gluteus maximus. You know what's amazing is I had pneumonia for 3 weeks, right? I swear I had no energy to fight it after you kicked my butt for 2 weeks into that CrossFit.
I'm sorry, yes. Chris has been training, or was training, after he quit.
I'll get back on it. No, I'll get back on it.
At Fit Crew in Humble.
Yes.
So... doing some CrossFit, doing some heavy lifting, kicking his butt around.
I'll tell you what, but I made the run around the whole building with you a couple times.
You did, yes. You did me proud.
I did you proud on a couple occasions. That is correct.
well, I will be out. It's an interesting time to miss that. I'll be mention that I'll be out next week. I will be absent from the Rat Pack. I will be listening from Boston.
He'll be in Boston for a long time, like 10 days or something.
10 days we're going to be up there for the International Tang Sudo competition. My son and I will be competing, so we'll be posting some of those fun pics on Facebook as well. So keep your eye out for those.
You know, Samantha, who had just called in, has a question, and this is for Chris Fan. It says they had another question about a series of LLCs, and does it protect property owners with multiple properties from being sued?
No. Texas Series LLC is a relatively new thing that was approved by the Texas legislature. This is a perfect tool for an investor who owns multiple properties. Instead of setting up multiple LLCs, what we can do nowadays is to set up one Series LLC, in which we can put, for example, one shopping center into Series 1, and then another multi-family complex into Series 2, and then, let's say, an industrial property in Series 3. But there are rules and regulations that we have to adhere to in order to protect the separation between Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3, that you have to have separate accounting book, separate bank account. You cannot commingle funds among the series. Otherwise, whoever trying to sue the series number 1 can say, hey, go to the judge and say, Judge, the owners of this LLC basically commingle funds among the different series, so they don't respect the rules of separation. So why don't we tear down we pierce that veil between Series 1 and 2, and we can take the properties on from Series 2 as well. So I think it's a great tool for an investor who owns multiple properties, but we just have to
that's the accounting thing. They're going to say that you're not really treating this as a series type of LLC. You're really treating it like a normal. So if you have one property that the suit's going to be about, they're going to be able to go after all the properties.
That is correct, Rob. You hit the nail right in the head. So it's a great tool, as I said, but you just have to adhere to all these financial reporting and bookkeeping and separate bank accounts, and take care of all the paperwork properly. Yeah.
No, everybody looks like they're about to ask a question. Nobody's asking. We're all defer. You can't defer to everybody.
That is correct.
I just had a question. You were something you mentioned earlier when we were talking before the show that I thought was interesting is that, obviously the residential market has just been crazy for the last couple of years and just an all-time record high, but that that you'd made the comment that commercial was lags behind a little bit on the residential side. So you're really starting to see the same level of activity in the commercial real estate.
I just use the level of closings at my little title company as the indicator. And in 2013, when the residential markets really pick up, we were totally surprised and taken aback by how fast and how strong the residential market has really picked up. The commercial markets in 2013 started to pick up a little bit. Not as hot, not as strong as the residential market, but beginning this year in 2014, we start seeing a lot more activities.
What seems to be? What are you seeing a particular type of commercial real estate that has been happening more than others, or is it just in general?
I've seen a lot of office buildings being constructed and closed, especially along the energy corridor, where all the oil companies are just moving in and start construction like crazy.
Oh, and I would agree with you. If you drive down there, in fact, it was funny you're saying this. I was driving yesterday between Highway 6, right before Highway 6, a whole swath of land up there, and there was a brand new section that said "new building coming soon." The pre-sale right there. And my first thought was, if you go down there right now, you've got probably 10 new buildings already in the energy corridor, and you've got probably about 5 or 6 that have already been staked out saying coming soon. It's amazing how that market, as you're mentioning in the office buildings, is absolutely just booming, especially in the area of the energy corridor where oil and gas is still, absolutely booming.
Well, Texas leads the job creating market, period. And Houston leads Texas. So it's just, I don't know where we're going to put them all. They were all in front of me the other day on I-10, by the way.
Right. Is that the moment you called me and said,
I called
yes,
you.
I know. But, Nicole, what are you seeing in regards to relocation here? I mean, obviously, it's a very strong. We talk about oil and gas, we talk about energy corridor, but what are you seeing in general as well from your side of the business?
It's been very heavy, of course, in the Woodlands with ExxonMobil and several other companies relocating their corporate offices to the Woodlands. But I've also seen a lot of expansion in the areas surrounding the Woodlands, even as far out as Kingwood and Willis and Conroe. Those areas as well are picking up dramatically, and properties that back in 2009, had you purchased and tried to flip 2 years later, you might have been in a negative equity situation, and these people are making returns on equity just because the cost of the homes, the price of the homes, and the value has increased exponentially over the last probably the last 18 months or so.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, one of the things that we're seeing, we see this all the time, is individuals are out there looking at buying a home, the amount of multiple offers that are in the same deal. And then, we get it a lot of times on the lending side. It's, hey, we finally won the deal. I get a call from Nicole. Hey, we finally won it.
We finally did it.
Let me know when the appraisal comes in.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I'm actually writing a class right now on how to handle multiple offers because there's a lot of things being done incorrectly.
Right.
And from the seller side, from the buyer side, and things like that, there's just a lot of things to know. So that's another reason to call a professional, because if you want to be able to get that house, and if you're walking in without somebody helping you, you're probably not going to be very successful.
No, not at all.
No, and I would absolutely agree. I think, one of the things, we talk about this all the time. If you still forecast what's going on here in Houston, we're not forecasted to slow down. I mean, one of the things, we have a very low inventory. I think less than 3 months worth of inventory on average.
2.6. And
I think the legal term is insanely low, Chris.
Yes.
Insanely low. That is correct.
Well, I've been in the business 30-plus years. I've never seen inventory levels this low, ever.
Wow. So you've got that, and so it's important as ever to learn how to not only manage the sale of your property, but also we talked about this last show as well, is know how to manage the purchase of a new property. Because one of the things that's happening, and Joe mentioned this a while ago when he was jokingly saying, hey, they offer me $300,000, I'm selling my home tomorrow, and buying a new home for $300,000 is probably smaller than what I've got.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
And that's
cash offers $300K. Humble area. I'll take it.
Make me move, right?
Exactly.
But that's why a lot of people aren't putting their house on the market. Is that where do I go?
Right.
They're worried that they're not going to be able to find something. But you know what? There are houses out there to buy.
Yes.
And if you do want to move up, it's a great time because interest rates are still at historic lows. How long that'll last, I don't know. They are edging up a little bit. You got a comment on that?
Well, I had a comment the other day because one of the things that we had been talking about earlier this year is rates are going to go up. Rates are going to go up. Rates are going to go up. And guess what's happened? The bond market, through a lot of other activities that are going on, rates are low again. I mean, the bond market has absolutely tanked again, and rates are again at extremely low rates. So, it's one of those things we're in that perfect storm still. You've got rates, you've got availability of money, you still have a lot of financing going on, so you have the ability to get out there and get into a home. It's a matter of finding the professional. It's a matter of getting there with an individual like Nicole and getting out there and finding a home and represent yourself well in that transaction. So.
Well, we're coming up to 2 minutes. I'd like to make sure that everybody gets a chance to talk about
absolutely
the show
agree.
And then how we can get a hold of you.
Yes, so let's start off with Nicole.
Absolutely. Again, guys, I'm Nicole Lopez. I'm with the Doug Erdy Realty Group in Northeast Houston. You can reach me via my Facebook page or www.dougerdy.com. And I would encourage any young professionals who are looking into getting into the real estate field, reach out, contact me if you have any questions. I would love to help, love to be a mentor. And again, don't forget to, on March 21st at noon Central Time, please go to realtor.com/30under30 and vote for me for National Association of Realtors 30 under 30.
We also have Nicole Lopez.
We also have that link already up on the Real Estate Rat Pack Facebook page. So just go to facebook.com/Real Estate Rat Pack, and you can find that link and vote for Nicole.
Chris, how do we get a hold of you?
Thank you all for having me today on the Rio Show. My name is Christopher Pham. You can go to my website, christopherpham.com, or you can go to my Facebook page. It's the Christopher M. Pham Law Group. Again, I'm with Christopher M. Pham Law Group and Capital Title, and I love to hear feedback from all of you, especially all the agents and brokers. I've been working with them for 10 years and working alongside with them on the when they do their business. So look forward to working with you.
Absolutely. That's Chris Pham. One of the things I always leave everybody is a saying. Today's saying is, if you have people in your life to love, you are blessed. Slow down and enjoy the simple things. That's from Teresa Kennedy. Until next time, we're out.
And you've been listening to the Real Estate Rat Pack. The question is, who's Frank, who's Sammy, who's Dean, and who's the other guy?
Chris is Frank, he's Dean, and I'm Sammy.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So tune in to the really big show every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.7 The Word, KKHT.